Okay, today we're going to show you how to install the cable to any of the three styles of pedals that we have. We've got the SEL pedal, L-shaped pedal. We've got the SE pedal, and we've got the SEC pedal. So any of these three, they're all installed the same way. The first thing that we have to do, there's a spring here on the back end that we have to disconnect. Okay, so we're going to unhook this spring. It attaches into this little notch right here. So you can see, goes in there. We're going to remove it. This is so that we can open this up and get to where we're going to connect the clevis. The next thing we've got is we've got a cable, and our cable's got one clevis that's affixed already to the cable itself, and then we've got just the ball end. The ball end is the one that goes toward the pedal, and the pedal hardware, or the cable connecting hardware, we've got a removable clevis that connects on here. We're going to then connect this to the pedal itself. We do that with this pedal clevis pin, and then once that is connected, then we're going to go ahead and install the cotter pin. And when we install this, we want to make sure that we go ahead and bend it all the way over. Okay. Bend it all the way around so that it's not hanging out. All right. Now, once we have this, then what we want to do is remove the rubber boot. We want to spin this nut number 1 all the way off and leave nut number 2 within just a couple threads of being spun all the way on. Once that's done, then one other thing I want to mention. While we're working on the bench here, it's pretty easy. But if you've got it on the lawnmower, you want to make sure that you have not connected the fixed clevis end to the flap itself, because if you do, it takes all the slack out of your cable and it makes it more difficult to work on. So you can go ahead and put this on, but make sure you don't connect the clevis to the flap itself. Okay, so now with that in mind, what we want to do is we want to close this down so that the clevis is all in a line there, and then we're going to take and thread our wire into this slot, and then we're going to feed this up in. I'm going to hold this so you can see what we got going on, but we're going to then take jam nut number 1 and start it on, and then before we get too far along, we want to get this rubber boot back on. Okay, so it's a little tight in there, but you can push it in this way, or the other way that I found pretty easy is you can take the clevis itself and use it to kind of push it up on here. Okay, so we've got this in place. We're going to now go ahead and spin jam nut number 1 all the way up to where it's snug right here. Got that in place. Our rubber boot is in place. Now, the final step that we need to do then is we need to come back here and reconnect this spring mount. So now it's in place. So you can see with it in this position, we've got the clevis hooked up. Everything is in line. So we're good to go. One other thing that you want to do while you still have the pedal off of the mower before you bolt it down is a lot of times it's easier to go ahead and insert this zip tie into these holes while you've got it off the mower. And you can just get it in place roughly where it's going to end up being. Once you get it all situated, you get the cable adjusted and that, then the final thing that you're going to want to do is pull this zip tie tight so that it locks the cable in where it needs to be. This protects the cable and ensures that we don't get a bend right here, which can cause real problems for your cable. You always want that first ½ inch straight coming off of this fitting.